Begin to get daylight.
What year was that?
65.
How many hogs did we lose?
300 and something, 350.
300 hogs died.
That was a little pig, big pig, salad, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it all hauled.
But the barn all blew down on them, crushed them, and it was terrible. Well, it was really it was about 3 or 4 barns full of hogs, wasn't it? I mean, the Fairway barn,
We had the prairie barn, we had,
feeder pigs out in there at the main barn.
yeah.
That's where I had my basketball goal. It all fell down. The only thing, just about the only thing that stood was the corn crib and the and the garage.
Yeah.
That garage is still standing out there.
That little bitty flimsy garage stood through that darn tornado.
Chicken house behind it was better built than it was. It disappeared.
Yeah, it never did come up.
I never did see where all that. I was all over the field, right?
But I really hated losing that barn, that big old white barn. That was a nice barn.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it was built kind of.
Where was that?
It wasn't really well built. I mean, just nice looking and big.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember, so you came back that day, and then what? I mean, how many days we stayed in Uncle Donald's? And
I don't know. Well, somebody pulled out.
They brought a trailer out there and we stayed in it.
who brought that out, or where'd it come from?
They come from Frankfurt.
A preacher, I guess.
He let us borrow it or something, or?
He wasn't a
There's a
preacher.
preacher brought that little dinky portable, or that little trailer that you pull behind a car.
Oh, I'm thinking of a big trailer.
Well,
There was a little one
first
first.
farm owners had that brought out and for us to live in while we built a new house.
Oh, I didn't know it was a
But we
preacher.
lived in that little dinky trailer, you and I don't want to kids in that.
Where
Oh,
were
I
we?
suppose you were staying at Donald's, I imagine.
Yeah, we did.
You and Steve driving back and forth, and Mike to school.
September '65.
Mhm.
I've been a junior.
Mhm.
So, you're right. I remember the party you're talking about was my 16th birthday party, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had a 16th birthday party for me, and I remember Susie and Joyce and well, all the girls and the guys out there at our house a week before that. Oh, darn. My 16th birthday.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I was dating Becky.
And I had, about that time, I decided I wanted my hair blonde, and I got up there in the bathroom and started using some of that stuff, you know, that bleaches out your hair. And all of a sudden, that stuff began to work, and I, oh my gosh, what have I done? And so I started rinsing it out, well, it didn't stop it, but anyhow. That night I went to work. And every time I go in a patient's room, there was a mirror there. And I'd see that woman with that blonde hair. That scared me to death. Oh, that was funny. So that was the end of, oh, I always messed with her.
Well, I remember on that storm, Dad. I remember everybody that came out to help us clean up.
Yeah, we did.
Who was it?
Just people from the community, just everybody.
I'm not.
People come out there didn't even know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember doing it. I remember some of the people I knew was
And the Red Cross
Sunday
came
school
out.
class brought out, it took a collection, I think it brought them $600.
there.
Uh-huh.
What?
It was
Just
all $20 bills.
they gave it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you lose financially? Did you lose money financially?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Did you have insurance?
I think I got $5,000 insurance check,
Is that right?
but you know, it didn't cover everything.
Yeah. I mean,
Farm machinery, I mean, really, I was lucky there. I think the reel on the combine and the glass broke out of the cab or something. It wasn't too bad.
mhm.
The
Did-
little Oliver tractor was in the big barn, and the big beam just barely touching the steering wheel.
Is that
I
right?
got in there and drove it, so you know. Well, I'm sure glad I didn't hurt that little tractor. I needed that to clean up.
I remember driving that, helping clean up. Did the big tool shed out back go down, or did it stay up?
It stayed up, but it took metal out of the roof.
Okay. Yeah. And I remember the corn crib stayed up.
I had tore the metal out and the elevator out of it.
Did it? But financially, I mean, really, I mean, we
We
lost.
still borrowing money.
Yeah, and just like it just went on, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, it's just that way all the time that we farm.
Yeah.
It seemed like, and then when we had a sale, by then we had quite a bit of money left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from the sale,
In '69.
we was able to buy that house there in Mulberry
Mm-hmm.
and remodel it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, everything's worked out all right. We
Yeah.
still got a little money.
Mhm.
Of course, I keep being, I mean, if we didn't have Medicare, my gosh, look what it'd be.
Yeah.
You can understand why people years ago didn't have all this medical aid,
Mm-hmm.
because they couldn't afford to have it.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I think this time, I don't know whether we've added up yet on all it costs.
Yeah.
Are you about ready? Okay, I'm going to shut it down. So we got through 65.
5 years, an hour and a half.
All right. So we come back. We get high school graduation and on.
And I never forget that.
20 years up here.
20 years today.
Been a long time.
Well, then just get to 85.
Huh?
I heard maybe Mike drive up.
Jason, you asked me if there's
I don't want to show
any
I don't want to show my leg there.
disturbance out here with the kids out here. These are mostly all, I think, graduate students.
They just,
And they got
These are
children,
pretty-
families. And you know, it is expensive, but
they're nicer apartments. The kids that are wild probably have to live in there.
most of the kids are freshmen or sophomores and,
Well, here,
no, that's the group of kids that make the most ruckus.
mostly graduated too.
You didn't tell me, Keith, when it was time for me to do my cover.
My work is breathing good, tell you.
I was sitting here, and I didn't notice it.
You only missed a boy, but
An hour.
no, you didn't.
Yes, it's supposed to be at 2 o'clock.
Now what are you gonna do?
Well, I just go from 3 o'clock and then 4 hours. And,
If you don't, you
well, looky there.
Oh my God.
Nothing going on out there?
Expect me home, sir?
Yeah, I thought I heard you maybe drove up, but then I didn't see nothing.
Where are you good?
Jason.
Did you buy anything?
Uh-huh.
You did? Did you get the fall tree?
What are we doing?
No, you'll wish you hadn't come home. He said,
Probably getting ready to go on the other side, anyhow.
Yeah, see if I can find another one here.
oh my.
Yeah, I bought poultry.
Did you buy the whole tree? What'd you have to give for it?
$450.
Is it a good one?
Hmm?
Is
No, I
it?
get $465. I had to buy the piece that goes on top of it separate. Had to get $15.
How come they had seven?
Because they're down.
What are you gonna get out of it?
I'm not sure yet.
Is it in pretty good condition? You don't have anything to worry about.
You have to, did it work on it?
Great. Is it oak? You won't have anything to worry about.
It's original finish.
Good
Today
stuff.
was a good day.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for that day.
Been to Delphi twice. Went to Anderson's and then drove to Delphi. Came back to Anderson's and then we're back to Delphi.
You get the whole free in your truck,
Uh-huh.
Which
In a
truck you
van.
got?
I'm in a van.
you got it covered and everything.
Well, I took the mirror off of it. The bottom of it's standing up back there and the mirror's covered up. I can show it to you in a minute.
I mean, it's not in the back of a truck, though, it's not
No,
out
it's
in the weather.
no, I brought the van.
Well, we left off at 1965, Mom.
I can't talk, I'm taking my medicine.
Football game on.
What?
Purdue's a little bit behind.
You want to watch football?
Huh?
You want to watch
Just
football?
Purdue.
Oh.
Yeah, Dad,
That's about
fuck
it.
in the game.
The only game they'll televise all year.
You got all do that.
That's right.
Grandma will be tired after it.
Oh, Grandma won't either.
You gotta do it now, or relax later.
Football game will be on later.
You go study if you want something to do.
Now don't do that or you'll make him hate going and doing it.
John's dog died.
Did.
Grizzly died on me yesterday. Sure did. My old buddy. Yeah. I stayed with him right till the end, till his last breath. Yep.
What's the matter with him?
A heart attack.
Did he?
Heart, doctor said, that says they don't have heart attacks, but they have like valve blockages or valve problems or something.
Well, it was all that stuff that you brought home from the restaurants and fed him when you come home.
I hope not.
Well,
You killed your dog?
all those years.
But after 12 years, the
Was he there,
vet said,
Jason?
that's about all the longer they go.
I was there
So
when
the
he
dog
was still alive.
12.
I can remember when he was still in back forty.
Human.
144.
How's that figure?
Let's see,
Barry.
17s are 14,
They took him to the vet.
7, 8, 84, I guess.
It's pet cemetery and they're gonna bury him.
That's in there.
Most of them live in it.
Mm-hmm. The vet said that Afghans lived about 12 and maybe golden retrievers to about 14 or 15. And something they said would live to be about 20, which surprised me. I can't
Oh,
remember.
was he?
12.
Little older dogs live longer.
Oh,
And that,
They do.
some oddball dog he's
Seems
telling me
like
about.
so many dogs get arthritis and, don't they, and they can't
Well, nephew,
move.
Rizzo is, if he was 12, he was 94 years old. I mean,
7 2s are 14, 7, 8, 84 years old.
12, 74, yeah,
Them
right.
two-
84. So that's old.
Almost as old as Dad. Didn't know he was sick or anything?
No, he was great, right up to the end. I mean, I let him out that morning, came back, he went out and ran around, came back in, and I played with him and fed him,
They don't
and
usually go that quick, do they?
I mean, he went quick.
Lope around and.
Well, that's what I
That's
thought.
right, and get skinny and ragged and looking, and
He
a lot of
did,
animals do.
he did, boy, he was just okay right to the end. He had a kind of a deep hacking cough the last 6 months or so, but I hadn't even heard it in the last month. We were thinking it was thyroid. I think the doctor tried to get us to do more thyroid medicine. But, he was, I mean, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he did that trick of running around the house at full speed. I mean, just act like he was 6 months old. He's my old buddy.
That's when they started having heart attacks.
That's kind of like Jim Fix, you know, the runner. He was only 40.
Yeah.
Hitting this flat.
So what have you been doing? Mom said you've been working. From you working so hard now and didn't work too hard 6 months ago?
Well, I didn't say it was time, because it's been going a lot, running. make some money, so I fixed my apartment. So I can live there.
Have you eat up there yet? Thought you bought a furnace.
Well, there's a furnace downstairs. I suppose if I had to, I could rig it up so that the heat can go upstairs, but I think I'm just gonna get a space heater, gas space heater. Just kind of sit out in the room.
With the chimney on it.
Well, there's a chimney up there. It's all the way upstairs. Chimney there.
Where do you,
Yeah, you got
lights too?
flue pipe. That's what
how,
everybody used to use. Well, these smaller houses.
so how do you get gas to it? You get to run a gas line up to it?
Oh, you found it?
It's on your chimney, plugged.
Use the same gas tank that you got for the other furnace or different?
Yeah, natural gas. I already got the gas hooked up there.
Is it still in here
upstairs.
somewhere?
No,
Just have to
you
run
can't
a
do
line
that.
upstairs.
Something I think has killed them. I don't know what.
That's about all I know, John.
Okay. Hold that. 1965, where'd we leave off?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, let's talk about our vacations, our trips. Did we talk about each one of them individually?
We can't remember.
Well, where was our first one to?
Heavens, who knows?
We may have talked about some of them.
I remember.
Didn't have it in 65.
Didn't have any, how many, did we go on a trip every year or just every 3 years or what?
It seemed like to me that not every 2 or 3 years.
We,
Up to Michigan
we
and,
went to work for DC in 65, didn't we? That's when we bought that car. Which I already bought it the year before or the year after.
So you think we went about every 2 years or so?
yeah, like, or 3 years, maybe.
Seemed like I remember Mackinac Island, I remember Washington, I remember New York, and I remember Colorado. Now, we went out west twice and Mom didn't go once. How come?
Because I was working hospital and Billy Jane was a little one.
Okay. As you get to work, pick up.
How'd I get to work? Well, I reckon I took the pickup. I never thought about that.
So we took the car, I think we took that old brown 62 Dodge, I think it must have been 62. We went, where did we go to Missouri? I thought we went out to Colorado.
And that one was all together, that trip.
That was maybe one of the first ones when we went down.
But it came tiny.
Oh,
And
no,
after the babysitter while we went up
no,
Pike Peak.
that wasn't the first ones. I can remember pictures of the boys, all 3 of them. And Mike would looks like he was about, 4 or 5 in the picture. And we went, another time we went, I don't think Mike was born yet, we was down in Louisiana where that army buddy.
Well, I'm
yours-
getting that, we only went to Colorado once.
No.
But
Well, we want them in sequence, don't we? We want the years in sequence. See, and
What,
this army buddy, when they went, was riding in that wagon and rolling down in that red clay field.
that was in Georgia, wasn't it?
Maybe it was in Georgia. Where your friend lived. Well, we're just talking about where we went.
Okay, in Colorado, when we went there that one time, did we, Mom go with us to
No.
Colorado, Pikes Peak?
Yes, I went.
Pikes Peak. Then where,
Betty, we left Betty came with the babysitter.
okay.
At the motel. We didn't know who she was. She was a grandchild
Oh, yeah.
of the people that run the motel.
Betty Jane was born in what year? She was born in 64,
62.
62? Okay, so that's why we went to
And
Pikes
she was,
Peak.
and she was about, she was just approaching 2 years old. She's about a year and a half.
So we went to Pikes Peak in the 62 Dodge then. Because the next Dodge we bought was that 65 Dodge. Okay, so we took the Brown 65 down to Pikes Peak and you went along. Okay.
The
Yeah.
year before that was the year that you guys went to Missouri.
Okay.
And Daddy went around in a circle one day. Remember?
Drove all day and ended up in the same motel. You remember?
No.
I did.
You're saying that's a year before we went to Pikes
Yeah.
Peak?
Yeah, because that was when Betty Jane was up here, just in the first year.
And you didn't go?
And I didn't go, I stayed home
Or-
and worked and she took her to the babysitter. And
Why
then-
did we decide to go without Mom on vacation, Dad?
Because, I decided that I was going on vacation, I've been working all the time. She couldn't go, I said, well, I'm just going to take the boys and go.
And I said, go on. And the next year, and then the director of nursing wanted me to do the same thing. I said, I'm not gonna do it, I'm going.
Did you lose your job?
Yes.
You did. Okay.
When I come back home, I didn't, she said, well, I guess if you're going, you're going. And we'll see you when you get back. When I got back, I called her and said, I'm here. And she said, well, we don't need you.
But,
And I said, that's fine, I got enough to do out here,
went to Murphy,
I guess.
who you tell?
Oh, it was Miss McGill.
Well, Mom, you gotta remember, you're on camera now, I'm picking your nose.
No kidding.
It's a picture of.
Yes.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Well, you look natural.
Well, if you have a runny nose like I do with this thing, you
Chocolate
just,
stick of coffee, wasn't
No.
you just gotta have,
End of that tape, gotta get a new tape.
Oh, I didn't get it all, huh? Didn't get all the conversation.
Yeah, I think we got